Hey, it's Farand Wasiak. I'm here with Ben Lord, Will Docken Scholarship winner 2019. Ben, how you doing today, this evening, this morning? Our listeners, viewers don't know what time of day it is when they're watching this.
It feels like night here. It's already getting pretty dark, but good to see you, Was.
Yeah, great to see you. Uh, Johnson County, Iowa is where you hail from, correct?
Yep.
Very
I
good. Oh, good. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I grew up here and I left for college and then I came back.
Where'd you go to college?
I actually went to Iowa State, which is blasphemy because right here is Johnson County, Iowa, which is Iowa City, and that's the University of Iowa. And I crossed sides. I went over to Iowa State. But I'll give a shout out to Iowa State. Iowa State's the birthplace of the digital computer. So I came
Really
back.
interesting. Did not
Yeah.
know that. Did not know that fact. Did not know it at all. Weather-wise in Iowa looks like to be the same in South Carolina, where I hail from. We finally have a season here other than summer, which I'm kind of enjoying. I get to wear a hoodie for 3 weeks out of the year. So, and I could tell by your nice vest that it's maybe quite the same weather there.
Yeah, we got a little bit of snow, in fact.
Oh, wow, oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Now, the threat of snow here in South Carolina, the threat shuts it down. Shut it down. Yep. One thing, 2019 Will Docken winner. Explain the process. Anybody who's obviously they've seen the social media hype for applying for the scholarship or the process. Explain that to us.
Really what the scholarship's looking for is to memorialize and represent what Will Dawkins stood for, which was the advancement of digital forensics in more rural type areas. And I think that the requirement for the scholarship, if it's the same now as it was then, is that you can't have two examiners already certified with your agency. And as long as you meet those requirements and you submit a professional CV and a letter of interest in the correct format, you are entered into consideration for it. And then I wish I could say that I won it on the merits of my application, but it's actually just a drawing at that point, and they select someone to receive an all expenses paid tuition, hotel, flights, um, all those things, and it makes a big difference because that adds up to almost $10,000, I think.
Oh wow. Oh, that's a hefty price. That's Price is Right type thing or the Wheel of Fortune. 2019 winner, that was tumultuous here in the United States and the world. So how did that work out for you with the whole COVID pandemic issue?
Well, so luckily, 2019, I snuck in before COVID's, changed everything. I remember it. I was very surprised and happy to win the scholarship. I think by the time you hear if you're a winner or not, I think all the seats are gone. So if that's your only hope of getting to IACIS, it's certainly good news.
Good, excellent. Classes you've attended at IACIS.
Yeah. So 2020 hit and IACIS kind of hunkered down that year, but then opened back up at least to the North American class. At least opened up to us here in the United States, and I had the chance to go back and I did the mobile device forensics course with great teacher, especially the Android forensics teacher. Yeah,
I heard things. I heard he's a pistol, that guy. Straight shooter. Yeah, motivates. Yeah.
and I also did the advanced Windows forensics, and both those classes were excellent and brought a lot of additional knowledge that I apply routinely at work.
Excellent. So that was you did the 1 week of mobile, and then you did two classes in 2 weeks.
Yep, yep.
Oh, fantastic! Excellent stuff. Yeah, there's a full array of classes at the IACIS conference in Orlando. Uh, Using how big of a department or no? How big of a lab would you say or shop for our European friends do you have for forensics, digital forensics?
So when I first started, it was me at the sheriff's office by myself, and we serve a population of about 170,000 people in this county,
Okay.
and we after I started, we partnered up with the Iowa City Police Department and the University of Iowa Police, and we have a joint mutual aid agreement now where we're on a
Okay.
combined task force. There's currently three of us, and we're looking to add two more examiners from suburban agencies to our team as well. So it's really taken off, and I think the it's been a result of our success, and we have a lot of people from surrounding counties that come to us for help, and so it's a small but rapidly growing operation for us.
Very nice. And I noticed that's an ongoing trend nationwide for us in the states. If you had to give your biggest, I wouldn't say problem, hiccup, what's something that needs smoothing out? It's not far as in particular to your agency, but just how the process could get a little better. I know size. Everything's volume. When I started, I'm not going to date myself, but computer hard drives were 12 gigabytes, 20 gigabytes. So I know volume's a thing, but what's something that is I guess a hiccup or something you like to see resolved or smoothed out over the coming years of this profession, of this discipline?
Yeah, I think that's maybe a general answer that a lot of administrators don't have a good understanding of what we do. And so you have to be patient and you have to work with them and help them work with counterparts, especially if you're in an area like I am where you got to work together. That makes things a little bit more difficult. And then you get into things like, how do we pay for server storage space? Do we
Yes.
store that locally or do we store it in the cloud? Or, ideally we should want both, but who has the money for that? So those are the conversations that you have to have. And, I think there's definitely a component of that where, if you're talking about internet crimes against children,
Hmm.
we need to do a good job with outreach and get out there and tell the public, what's going on the internet that they're not aware of, how to help their kids, so they bring us less kids are victimized, but then also so that we get the resources we need to address this new reality of policing. I think I avoided your question. The unit currently has three people, including myself, and we're
Oh,
going to
wow.
be
Okay. All
expanding
right.
to five within the year.
Okay. And do you have normal police functions, or you're dedicated solely to the digital lab?
It varies a little bit for all of us. Some of us are completely dedicated. Some of us, like for me, example, and one of my other coworkers, we are in the general on call rotation for investigators. So I still have to do that every few weeks, and sometimes catch some investigations that aren't related to digital forensics. But that's a good way to stay in touch with everybody else at my agency because we're off site. So
Oh yeah, oh, no,
there,
absolutely. I
yeah.
agree. Plus it's always good to just stay fresh on all aspects of the job. Ben, holiday coming up, Turkey Day. What goes on in Iowa? Any kind of like you guys like toss pumpkins out of a catapult or anything like that? Is that Iowa, or is that am I just totally wrong in that whole situation?
I don't know. I guess we've got a lot of shopping centers in our area, so Black Friday is definitely a big thing here. Uh, we ourselves, our family, we're actually going to go back to. My wife's from Michigan, so we're going
Okay.
to head her way or back to um, southern Michigan, and ironically enough, it looks like there's actually going to be a ECHL hockey team between Iowa and Kalamazoo while we're back there, so we might go see if we can catch that.
I'm originally from Western New York, Sabres fan. That's a whole other story, but minor league hockey is probably the best sporting event you could go to. The beer's cheap, the fights are great. It's just a great time. Wacky dog races. They put out that little green. There's always a wacky dog race, or the blimps that fly around. They drop off like local coupons for you for the local restaurants. It's a great time. Great
Yeah,
time.
yeah. We love hockey here, and most of our hockey teams here, our minor league teams, are affiliated with the Wild up in Minnesota. So
Okay.
yeah,
Fantastic. Excellent. Ben. Ben Lord, ladies and gentlemen, Will Docken winner 2019. Do you have anything else to close out for us, the crowd, anything?
No, just put in for the scholarship. It's important. Your administrators love to see it when you can find resources for them. And this is definitely one of them. And don't give it up. Don't give up on the fight, and keep your head up, and get through those moments where you need to convince others that what we do is really, really, really important.
That is true. That is absolutely, that's fine. That's job number one right there. So, all right, I got through this whole thing without doing, Ben Lord of the dance, Ben Lord of the flies. I don't even know if they're going to keep this in the final cut, but I was like, no, do not do anything with that. But all right, Ben Lord, good to see you. Happy holidays, and we'll see and talk to you in the future. All right, take care.
See you, boss.
All right, see ya.